welcome to the deep dive. So today we're tunneling into a really niche piece of technology. It's all about how we're still pushing old school analog telephone lines across, cutting-edge fiber optic cable.
That's exactly it. And our mission today is really to get into the why.
Right.
Why do we still need to send 4 independent POTS lines? That's plain old telephone service over fiber.
Okay, so let's just dive right in then. The sources point to 2 huge benefits right off the bat. First one is security.
Yeah, the big one.
They describe a fiber connection as, and I'm quoting here, impossible to bug. What does that really mean in practice?
Well, impossible to bug basically means that the classic wiretapping, the kind you see in old spy movies where they clip onto a copper line,
Right.
that's virtually infeasible on a fiber line. You can't just passively listen in. It's a massive security upgrade.
Okay, and the second benefit was distance, right? This is where it gets kind of wild.
It really is. I mean, your standard telephone connection on copper is limited, a couple of kilometers maybe. This device can push that voice signal up to 120 kilometers.
120 kilometers.
120.
Wow. That's like running a phone line from one major city to another. How is that even possible?
That's the magic of what's called single-mode fiber. The light path is incredibly narrow, so the signal just doesn't degrade. It maintains its integrity over that huge distance.
And it still carries all the normal features.
Oh, yeah. Full features, caller ID, pass-through, everything. It's crucial for carriers needing to extend that basic voice service.
So you have this amazing distance and security, but how does the box itself know what it's supposed to be doing? Which side of the call it's on?
Okay, so this is where we get into the nuts and bolts, the technical nugget, really.
FXS versus FXO.
Exactly. There's a simple DIP switch on the device. To put it simply, FXS mode. Think of that as the telephone company side. It provides the dial tone, it provides the power.
So it's the source, like the central office in a box.
Precisely. And conversely, FXO mode is the subscriber side. It's your telephone, your fax machine, even an old dial-up modem. It's the thing that's expecting to receive a dial tone.
I see. So that simple switch makes it incredibly versatile for whatever you need to connect at the other end of that 120-kilometer run.
It does, and what's wild is that it still uses that classic RJ11 phone jack.
The little plastic clip?
Yep, that's the one. It even supports this really niche function, FXS to FXS hotline mode.
A hotline?
Yeah, it lets you connect 2 regular telephone sets directly to each other over the fiber, completely bypassing the phone company exchange, like a dedicated intercom.
Okay, so beyond just the connection, for something that's running that far, you have to be able to manage it, right? You don't want to drive out there.
Absolutely not. That's why the management is, professional grade. You can monitor it through a web browser or using SNMP, which is the standard for network management.
So you can get remote alarms and check the status from anywhere.
From anywhere. It's critical.
And that brings us to reliability. The sources mention an MTBF mean time between failures of 125,000 hours. What does a number that big actually mean for a service provider?
Well, 125,000 hours, it's not just a big number for a spec sheet. It translates to almost 14 years of projected uptime.
14 years?
For critical voice lines, think emergency services, dedicated business links. That kind of long-term dependability is everything. It's why they invest in this stuff.
So I guess the real aha moment here is that our modern fiber infrastructure isn't just for blazing fast internet.
No.
A pretty simple device like this one is basically the invisible handshake between 19th century telephony and 21st century transport. It's keeping these vital analog services alive.
It is. And that leads to, I think, a really interesting final thought for you to chew on.
Okay.
If this device exists purely to support a legacy technology like the telephone, what other outdated but critical systems might be secretly running across all that fiber optic cable right beneath our feet?
Things like traffic control signals, maybe?
Yeah, or specialized industrial sensors, military communications, who knows? The old world is still running on the new world's rails.